the next thing I knew, I was airborne, I guess. I kind of remember like pushing onto the trunk and sticking my elbows out.
I think for a bus driver, it's the worst thing that you can possibly have happen, and that's to have somebody get hit. And then I kind of found out that she kind of disappeared, you know, and I wasn't sure where she went. You know, I just knew that she wasn't around no more, because I still was asking way later, did anybody ever hear anything or know anything, you know, about her?
So the first surgery was performed by the trauma doctor on call at Parkview when it was over on Randalia, and it was Dr. Al McGee, and he is more of a spine specialist. He went in and he told my parents that everything he touched just kind of crumbled. So he stopped, because he just felt like the more he did, the worse it got. And he told them that, you know, there was a new doctor who might be able to help me, but he said it was, you know, a good potential that I might lose my arm. And again, being a teenager, I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. I don't know, it's hard for me to say, like maybe 5, 6 surgeries, I can't remember. It took a very long time for that bone to heal, because like right in there, the bone had been pulverized so bad, and then they were trying to make it regrow. And like I would have to wear this electrical stimulator, and it was supposed to make the bone grow. And every time I'd go in for an MRI, I would just be praying, like, please let it finally just be better. I had to wear a splint, like on the front of my arm, because I couldn't wear one on the back of my arm, because that was where the wound was. And so I just wore that dumb splint forever. It felt like, really, it was probably maybe close to a year. And about 1.5 years or more before it was all finally done, because I finally had a bone graft, which I'm like, if you had just done it in the first place, I could have been mowing yards that summer. I felt like I received excellent care. Immediately
after that, you know, I wondered, and I asked and stuff like that, but because I was subbing at the time, you know, the next day comes and you're off to another route, and you're a different route, and things like that, and so you can't just exactly ask the kids or other people, you know, hey, do you know what happened, you know, because they don't know anything about it. And the next day comes, and pretty soon, you know, weeks turn into months, and I just never heard anything about it, although I greatly wondered.
The principal from Snyder came and visited me while I was asleep and left this giant stuffed panther on my bed, and I still have that. It was definitely something, you know, it was pretty serious. Like my elbow was just smashed, was the basic thing, and then a little bit of shaking my head around. So I felt a little, you know, just a little forgetful for a while. And I think like the fallout of that is that, you know, it definitely did cause some PTSD of not wanting to be in a crowd, because after 1.5 years of, oh, don't let your arm get bumped because that could break the hardware because there's no bone there. I didn't like to walk in traffic, of course. I felt very insecure. Like I really doubted my judgment when it came to crossing the street. And my parents got me therapy and things, and I did a little bit, and it just kind of, time helped make things get better. And I really thought I was over kind of a lot of it. And then years ago, my mom was talking to a friend of mine's mother, and all of a sudden I just like, it all kind of came back, and I was like, man, that still kind of hurts. And so I realized that, you know, I needed to deal with things some more. It's all happening to you, and you only think about how it's affecting you, and I really did not think about how anybody else felt. I was certainly upset because it changed my life. You know, I really thought that I was completely over it, and then on the first day of school, I walked out there and I was like, oh no. Maybe I need to think about this some more.